Hey, young scholars, Mr. Moran here, and we're finally getting to the end of the Constitution with Articles 6 and 7. Saving the best for last, I suppose. So, before we start this, there's a term you need to understand because it's referenced in one of the articles. It's this term called a religious test. And this is a legal requirement to square the support of a specific religion. In this specific case, what they're talking about is it's a reference back to England and in Europe, where if you were to hold a public office, like a president or uh, a representative, you would have to belong to a certain church or religion. And if you did not belong to that church or that religion, you could not hold that office. It didn't matter how smart you were. It didn't matter how much money you had. You had to belong to that church. And so when they're talking about religious test, it's a test, meaning you've reached this threshold, you belong to this church, and so you can then hold this office. So that's a term that's we're going to be hearing throughout this lesson. So another part of the Constitution, Article 6. The short version of Article 6 can be broken up into three parts. Section 1 of Article 6, the United States with this new Constitution will still pay the debts. This is a big deal because whenever countries have a revolution or they create a new Constitution, sometimes what the new leaders say is, hey, you know what, this is a new government, so we don't have to pay our debts. But in this Constitution, the United States government was saying, hey, don't worry, bankers, we're going to pay our debts. We're good with this, okay? And that was a big deal. Section 2 says the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. This means states must do what the federal government tells them to do. Whenever there's a conflict between the states and the federal government is kind of like your parents. You got to do what they say. Well, why do we have to do that? Because we're the federal government. And even today, this is a big deal. There's a constant conflict between the states and the federal government and what the states can do and what the federal government can do. And then Section 3, if you are a government official or representative, you must take an oath to uphold the Constitution. That's the first part. So for instance, when I joined the Air Force, I had to swear an oath to defend the Constitution. Anyone that enters the military, you take an oath to defend the Constitution. When anybody's elected to any elected official in the United States, it doesn't matter if you're the president, clear down to a mayor, to city council, to whatever, you take an oath to defend the Constitution. And then the second part is there is no religious test for office holders. And this is that term we were just talking about. In other words, the government cannot say you must belong to a certain religion or believe in a certain God to serve a government. That is illegal if they do that. Okay. And then we're also going to focus on Article 7. This is the one that turns everything on. In short, Article 7 states the people, not publicly elected officials, in other words, state representatives, will meet in their state conventions to ratify the Constitution. This is very, very important because the distinction between this is it is the people that ratified the Constitution, not representatives, the people. And even though many of those people that attended these state conventions, some of them were representatives, but there were people who were not representatives. They were just people that belonged or lived in the community. And this is a key point because this gets back to the idea that the power of our government comes not from elected officials, it comes from the people. And then the last part, this is the big deal, only 9 of the 13 states are needed to ratify the Constitution. So what you will learn is you'll understand the significance of Articles 6 and 7 in our Constitution, and you're going to watch these 2 videos and then answer the quiz questions. And so there are 2 videos you're going to watch, and I think I have 3 questions per video. So answer those questions, and then you're done. All right, guys. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher to help you or visit office hours for help. We'll talk to you later. Bye.